It's Tuesday. It's Tuesday. Yes, it is. It's Tuesday. All righty. Hello, hello, hello. It's Tuesday. Yeah. Going to get this conversation going. Send it to you. I always have 50 million things going on. So, it is Tuesday. And a couple of things that I want to, well, there's really two main things I want to discuss. And one is for you to think about, is your home safe, and is your home sensory friendly? And so I just want to go through a couple of things, to consider as you make your home safe for your loved one that's on the spectrum. So it's easy for us to, some of the basic things, lock this, lock that. But here are just some ideas that maybe you had not thought about that could possibly give you some additional peace of mind as you are in your home and you want to keep things safe. So first, we've got to realize that whatever safety measures we need in our home, we can't let other people bother us. We can't be worried about the fact that somebody's going to come over and wonder why you still have plug covers on, because we still have plug covers. Kendall is 22. We still have plug covers. And it is what it is. She's never tried to stick something in a plug, but I don't want to find out. So we still have plug covers. There's still locks on cabinets as well. So keep in mind, whatever you have to do to keep your home safe is what you need to do to keep your home safe. And that's the number one priority. It's not about what other people are going to think or say. So something to consider, locking doors. We know that sometimes, our loved ones can go into a room and they can lock the door. And when they lock the door, they lock us out. So something to consider is to flip the knobs on the door so that they're not able to lock you out the door, because you'll put the lock on the outside of the door. So that's just one thing to consider when we're thinking about safety. And just like I said, some of these are things that some you may have in place, but some you may not have thought about. But flipping the knob on the doors will allow them from locking themselves in a room and locking you out of a room. So if you put the lock on the outside, that way you can always get into the room. So that's one thing to consider. If you know they have a sensitivity to, to lights, rather they are sensory seekers, they like to look out the windows and see the light, or they are sensory avoiders when it comes to light, consider if they avoid the light, that maybe you want to get some blackout drapes. That's one possibility. The other thing is that there are locks you can put on your windows. So you don't have to have a full over security system. You can actually go by, and there are locks that you can put that will prevent your windows from opening up. And also they will make a sound when the window is opened up. So that, once again, is just something else you can put in place without, going out and buying a full security system. You can put those locks on your windows. Once again, it's for your peace of mind. The other thing are sensors. Sensors on your doors that lead to the outside. And that sensor is a motion sensor. So we want to make sure that we're thinking about the different ways that we're making our own home safe so that we can have peace of mind. So the sensor is a motion sensor. It's the same way when we walk into some stores, and as soon as you walk in, you hear the beep. That's just something you can actually go buy it and install it. And it's something that will give you peace of mind to know if a door opens, if you don't already have beeps on your doors. So you can go buy a package, a kit to put sensors on your doors so that if it opens, you'll hear it. We have beeps on our doors, and that's the main reason. We want to hear whenever a door opens. And to this day, right now, everybody, if you're in our house and you open a door, one of our rules is you need to say it's who it is, simply because we need to make sure it's not Kendall going outside. So lock safety on your windows, flipping the doorknobs on doors, and then the sensors you can go and buy that are motion sensors that let you know if your front door or back door opens up. Something else to keep in mind, safety gates, and sometimes installing safety gates, maybe if you're not the best, have someone else install them. When they were younger, we actually paid for someone to install them at our stairs because what we thought we had done was a good job was not a good job. And so we had someone actually come put them in, and they were secure at that point. And that's when they were much smaller, and Kendall was much smaller, and Kendall, of course, has no fear, so that just scared us half to death. So that's something else to keep in mind. Now, cords. You want to make sure as well that cords are out of the way, and if possible, tucked away, or kind of, they have these decorative things to cover cords. You just want to make sure that they don't actually see some of the cords, because you don't want them really messing with things. So the more you can do to disguise things like that, the better. So that's something else to keep in mind when it comes to cords around the house. Disguise them. That way they're not catching their eye as a cord that goes to a lamp or a cord that goes to something else in the house. Because I know we have lamps all over the house, but we try to make sure that the cords don't stand out, simply because we don't want Kendall to focus on them and then decide she wants to go and mess with them. Now the other thing is, when it comes to furniture, to consider what furniture you may need to bolt down or attach to the wall. And that can be a very scary thing. If you have a daredevil, that no fear, they'll climb on top of a bookcase and not think anything about it. So you may want to take a look at what, furniture items in your home you really want to attach to the wall so that they can't fall over, simply because there's a possibility they're going to climb on top of them. And those are things we think about when we're thinking about small kids, but we may need to keep those things in place or put them in place now that our loved ones are older, and not just assume, oh, it was just something I needed in place when they were much smaller. When Kendall was smaller, we actually had everything. Her dresser was in the closet because she would stand on it. And that kind of gave us a little bit more peace of mind. So consider which items you need to attach to the wall in your home for safety. It's all about staying safe and giving yourself peace of mind. I can't stress that enough. When you can have peace of mind to know that they're safe, it's going to help you rest and relax. And a big part on this journey is sometimes our minds never stop. So if we can put some things in place that allow our minds to kind of rest, then that's something we want to do. So going back over what I said, flip your doorknob handle so that they can't lock you out of rooms. Put the lock on the outside. That way, they're never in a room that they've locked you out of. The next thing, window locks that you can go buy, or window sensors that will let you know when they open up. Motion sensors on your doors so that you hear when the door is open. The next thing is to make sure you have furniture, heavy furniture, attached to the wall. When we purchased Kendall's bed, hey Yoki, when we purchased Kendall's bed, I remember we were in the furniture store actually bumping furniture around because we wanted a very heavy bed. And that was after she was sleeping on a fold-out mattress for a while for safety purposes, because she was moving the bed around. So we made sure the bed frame was a very solid frame when we did purchase a bed for her, after we realized she just was moving the other bed and crib around and was just being too much a daredevil at night. So child locks, it's real easy for us to have things in child locks and behind, safekeepings, but you need to realize as well, if it's behind something and they're watching you get it in and out, then they're watching how you get it in and out. And you may not realize that you're showing them how to get the item that you have locked away. So if you have an item locked away, you want to do what you can to not actually have them see you get that item from that place and the steps you have to go through in order to open it. So if something is locked, don't allow them to see you opening it up. They may seem like they're not paying attention. I promise you, they are paying attention. So don't let them see you. Now, another thing, if you have key locks in your house, we have key locks on our doors. And with our key locks, Kendall knows where the front door key is, but we've now gone through the process where she knows not to open the door. But we've actually put a key lock going to our basement at the moment, and we've hid the key so that she can't go in the basement because it's unfinished and we don't want her roaming around. And we realized that she was trying to get down to a space we knew was unsafe. So we put a key lock there and we hid the key, and we make sure that she doesn't see the key. So where we've hidden the key. And believe it or not, over the break, Thanksgiving break, she actually saw someone get the key and go in the basement, and we had to move the key to somewhere else. So do not assume that that person is not paying attention, because it's all about really and truly making sure you're keeping your home safe. Also, check the temperature on your hot water heater. Make sure it's not, that it doesn't easily get hot, because if that person loves water, it's going to be a safety concern that they're playing with the water and it immediately gets super hot that they could get burned. So you want to make sure you have it on the right temperature. And I know sometimes people want to turn it up a little bit so they can get their hot water faster. But if that is a concern and your loved one seeks water play, then you really want to make sure your thermostat is at a temperature on your hot water heater so that that's not a problem, that they're not going to accidentally get burned by playing in the water when you don't realize they're playing in the water. So that's just something else to keep in mind. Now, the items that I mentioned, it's really important that we are okay with what we need to keep in place to keep our kids safe, and how long we may need to use those items. We used a baby monitor with Kendall long into elementary school. And it wasn't one with a camera, but it was one we could hear the sound in the room. And it allowed us to we were able to hear what was going on in the room when she was supposed to be asleep sometime. So those are some things that we have used or still have in place, simply because it gives us peace of mind. And they're going to stay in place. We don't care what people think about what we have to do to keep our home safe, because it's all about our safety and our peace of mind. So take an evaluation, assess your home, and make sure you've thought about safety measures so that you can give yourself a peace of mind and know that you've done what you can to make sure your home is safe. And it doesn't matter what others are doing and how old their kids may be, and they may come in the house and think your child is too old for you to have those things in place. It's your home. It's your peace of mind. It's all about your safety. So once again, don't be afraid to secure your home so that you feel comfortable and you feel safe. And that's my biggie for tonight. Is just I want you to make sure you are doing what you need to do to keep your home safe. Just to recap again, one of the things, you can flip the knobs on your door so the lock is on the outside. They can't lock you out. You can put alarm sensors on your windows. You can put alarm sensors on your doors, key lock doors, and make sure that they don't see where the key is. And items you have secured, make sure that they don't see how you access those items, because they're watching. And that simply means they can go behind you and do the same thing. So do what you have to do to make sure your home is secure. Lock down furniture to the wall that's heavy so it doesn't fall over. And if you can, disguise the cords in your home so they don't see them and they become attractive. So hopefully those things will keep you safe and give you peace of mind so that you're able to rest. Because as we all know, we've got to make sure that has decided to open the oven door. Yes. As a climbing tool, yes. We're pretty sure there's a lock that you can get that locks up the oven as well. You're looking for baby safety items. And when you put it in place on there, Stacey, make sure he does not see how you unlock the lock to open the oven. But they're locks for appliances. We're pretty sure that Kendall is the reason we had to replace our last dishwasher. We feel like she must have stood on it when it was open, because it started leaning forward and we had to have a new one installed. but it is what it is. But yes, look into baby safety locks for appliances. And however long you need to leave it there because you don't want him using it as a step. But do not let him see you. Do not let him see how you open it, how you remove it, because he's watching. Even when it seems like he's not watching, he's watching. And he's going to try to see what to do so that he can use it as a stepping tool. It's definitely one of those things. And what we've got to make sure, when you see him standing on something, instead of, immediately saying that it's wrong, what we want to point out is say, we don't stand on the oven door. We want to let them know the behavior we don't want to see. We don't want to just say that's wrong, that's bad. We want to let them know we don't use the oven as a stepping stool. We don't stand on the oven's door, so that we are reinforcing the behavior in a positive way by not telling them what they should not be doing. And sometimes it's real easy to get caught up in just stop, don't do it, this and that. And we just need to remind them that that's not safe. It's not safe to stand on the oven door. We don't stand on the oven to get something off a top shelf. And just be mindful. If you have step stools around the house, just kind of pay attention to where you have them so that he can't get to them. Because they are very, very, when they are intended, when they really want to do something, their mind will lock onto it. But yes, look into those oven safety locks and don't let him see you do it. So thank you all for joining. And definitely do what you have to do around your home to keep your home safe. It does not matter what other people think. It's about your safety and your peace of mind. That's the number one priority. And whatever works in your home, it's your home. That's it. Do what you have to do in your home. So I will see you all soon in these Facebook streets. Have a great one.